Livia Jaroka. Madam Commissioner, honourable members, half a year ago, after the adoption of the European Framework for National Roma Inclusion Strategies, we all agreed that the strategy is not the end, but the beginning of our work. Please let me share with you the four most important tasks and areas that await us in the very near future and that are essential for this strategy to be a success in the end. First, the institutional and coordinational starting line needs to be finalized. For this purpose, it is extremely important that the Commission has confirmed at the end of October in the European Parliament that despite any political upheaval or budgetary hardship of different member states, they are expecting the submission of the national Roma inclusion strategies until the end of this year. The Commission also confirmed that after thorough evaluation covering the professional substantiation, complexity and financial feasibility of the national strategies, the Commission would also present specific recommendations for their revision and would report annually on the progress of the integration to the Parliament and to the Council. Vice President Reding in Budapest in 2010, April the 8th, has promised that the Commission will keep a close eye on the actions of all the Member States and will not tolerate any window dressing regarding the national strategies. Second, the report of the European Parliament called for the establishment of a so-called crisis map to identify and measure the underdeveloped areas, which are struggling with serious structural disadvantages, and this will allow us for complex and holistic development programs of immediate intervention with a cross-sector integrated approach. I truly hope that the poverty mapping carried out by the Fundamental Rights Agency will fulfill these requirements. Third, there is a very serious, important changes that the European Parliament last year has proposed to the next multi-annual financial framework in order to secure that EU and national funds can contribute to the substantial and enduring improvement of the life conditions of the Roma. Complex, flexible and sustainable programs are necessary with longer time coverage and greater territorial relevance, focusing on the most disadvantaged microregions. The scope of the EU funding must be extended very soon so that also provision of the quality public services becomes eligible. The rules of co-financing should be revised and possibly differentiated so that projects targeting the Roma could possibly be required to have lesser share of co-financing from the country and more and higher share by the EU. It is also worth keeping on the agenda the idea of the performance reserve that the Parliament stood behind so firmly last year. And the fourth point that I would like to make is also related to the European Parliament's report last year, where we stated that the EU policy to improve the socio-economic status of the European Roma must not compromise, but complement the anti-discrimination legislation. Therefore, the 2000/43/Directive on equal treatment must be implemented finally in the Member States and enforced by the Commission. The national equality bodies must be strengthened and all violations of these legal principles immediately reported and sanctioned. Thank you very much.
Gracias, señora Jaroka.